Steven Universe is the property of Cartoon Network, Rebecca Sugar, and its respective owners. Any and all footage or images have been used for the sole purpose of critique or parody, and as such are protected under fair use. Please support the official release. Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku, and thus far, Steven Universe Season 4 has been pretty casual with all conflicts being domestic. I feel like it's about time we face a new threat, a new enemy. But at the same time, I don't think we're exactly ready to charge the diamonds in Homeworld head on just yet. Season 4 so far feels like a calm before the storm, and I'm anticipating a big storm, and for that, we need an opposing force. So far, we've been introduced to a good number of characters this season. Jeff from Mindful Education, Mr. Frowny from Future Boy Zoltron, Mystery Girl from Last One Out of Beach City, the entire Onion Gang in, well, Onion Gang, then most recently Pumpkin Dog and Andy Nemeo in Gem Harvest. And it won't stop there considering Ashley Birch will be voicing a new character. That's a lot of friendly faces. With the exception of Pumpkin Dog, none of these new characters have gem-related origins. I'm not sure the Crystal Gems, namely Steven, will be ready to face Homeworld until conflicts dating all the way back to episode 1 are resolved. Corruption and himself. Corruption has plagued us from the very beginning, something we have been unable to truly cure. Steven came somewhat close in the case of Centipede, but it was only a temporary fix. Steven has been battling himself from the start as well. Although he's progressed quite nicely, his mental struggle in Mindful Education shows how bottled up he keeps his most devastating feelings. I can't be the only one who thinks an amalgam of his oldest struggles would be the perfect villain for him to face. What I have in mind is corruption incarnate. A lot of fans believe the only way for Steven to cure corruption is to use his dream and body switching abilities in conjunction with his healing abilities, which from what we've seen thus far sounds pretty logical. Garnet explained corruption to be a tear of one's mind rather than their physical body. But once inside their mind, what's Steven expected to do, spit in an empty hallway? If he's going to face anything while inside, it makes sense for it to be the source of corruption itself.
We've just been looking at the toppings of the problem. We've got to track this back to the sauce.
An unredeemable evil that would force Steven to make tough decisions as all great leaders must. At the moment, Steven doesn't quite understand his mother's decision to shatter Pink Diamond, or even why she handled the business situation in such a way. This could give him the perspective he so desires.
No! In a real battle, Steven won't be there to save you!
Yes, I will!
Steven would have no choice but to fight alone against a major threat. Now, this is going to be a little bit weird, but I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. But in that movie, they go into cyberspace and fight a virus in its own domain, which is pretty much what Steven would have to do, battle in uncharted territory and find a way to battle a gem illness. And it's funny because for some reason, Hollow Pearls really remind me of the villain in that movie. If you've never seen it, don't feel bad. It went straight to DVD anyways, like 15 years ago. But something like this would be incredibly difficult for Steven. First off, using his dream ability continuously is strenuous on his body, not to mention that exposure to corruption could lead to some dangerous results. He may only be half gem, but he'd be linked to a corrupted gem mentally, which is essentially what corruption feeds on, the mind. I mean, it's possible that he could have some sort of immunity, like with the gem destabilizers. Him being a half-breed kind of throws things up in the air. I'm not sure how effective a mental bubble would be, but we do know that Steven has extra powers when he's in his dream mode. He kind of becomes like Astro Boy, he's able to summon things. So we could see Steven in a sense at his full power because he'd be able to use his powers as intended, the way he wants to. Which would be pretty dope because we'd be able to see what Steven may look like at his full potential in the future. It's almost like the episode So Many Birthdays where we get to see an adult Steven, an elderly Steven, things we otherwise probably wouldn't get to see. But anyways, if corruption preys on the mind of gems, it may attack Steven's unresolved feelings. In a battle like this, mental weakness would be even more dangerous. If it has access to Steven's mind, it can manifest his repressed thoughts into its domain. Rose once said that whenever Steven loves being himself, that's her. So what was up with her expression in Mindful Education? This is different from all the other faces in Steven's mind because she's actually half of him. She looks so disappointed and upset, and that's the sort of thing that Steven will be expected to confront on his own. But regardless of how corruption is cured, the aftermath is sure to be interesting. If all or even most of the corrupted gems are cured, that means more forces for the crystal gems, more allies to fight with them in the future. Steven will be far more prepared to lead and problem solve. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see Steven have to face something like this on his own and grow as a character, or maybe you have something else in mind? Whatever the case, tell me everything in the comments. Be sure to share this video with every new character in your life. I hope all of you had an amazing Thanksgiving. I know I did. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.